Welcome to BISP Solutions. I am Anjali, and today we are going to discuss how to configure workforce module by setting the granularity at employee and job level. You can refer my previous video for job level granularity. So these are the steps which we are going to follow. I have already created an application and I have also configured it, and I have signed out and signed in again from our application. Let's green mark this area which we have done. So let's go to our application. So this is my application and I have configured it. Let me show you how I have done it. I'll click on application. I'll go to configure. I'll click on enable features. And see here, we have set the granularity as employee and job. So by choosing this, we can manage the workforce expenses at employee and job level both. And rest, everything is same. Okay. Then we'll click on enable and close the tab. All right. So the next step is importing the metadata. So for that, I am going to import metadata for employee. So I'm going to click here, click on launch. From here, choose file. First, we'll validate this, then import and close this. Similarly for entity, validate, import. Same process for job. All right. Now for union code, I'm going to import metadata. This is also completed. Now I'm going to import metadata for component. Validate, import and close. So after importing the metadata, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the user variables. So I'll click on tools. I'll go to variables and select all the user variables. For scenario, I want all the descendants. Already selected. Okay. So for version, I'll select all descendants here also. For years, same, all years, I descendants. For employee, all descendants. And for job also the same. Now I'm going to save this. Next, what I'll do is I'll set the user preference. For that, first on display, I need to set 1000 separator as comma and then save this. Then I'll go to user variables. I'll select all the members here. For input currency, I want USD. For entity, I'm going to choose, let's say finance US. Reporting currency, USD. For scenario, I'll go for OEP actual. For version, OEP working. And for year, FY22. All right, we are going to save this information. Let's go to home page and refresh our database. Application, then we'll go to overview. From here, we click on actions, click on refresh database, click on create and refresh the database. So let's check what steps we have completed. We have successfully imported the metadata. We have refreshed the database. We have also set the user variables and also user preference. So the next step is setting the assumptions. For that, I am going to click on configure. And from here, I'll give assumptions for all the elements required. First, I'll click on workforce assumptions and set all the assumptions here. Hours per day, 8. Hours per week, let's say 40. Working days per month, let's say 22. And partial payment factor as 100%. We'll save this information and close this tab. Now, next, I'm going to give assumptions for salary grades. First, I will change the entity because I am doing it for Finance US. Select Finance US, click on OK. For no grade, I want it for hour basis. Let's give the rate as 40. For grade 1, I will choose annual. Let's say it is 4,20,000 annual. Same for all the 3 years. You can change as well as per your requirement. We are going to save this information and then we'll close the tab. Next, we are going to benefits and taxes. Scenario is OEP actual, version is OEP working. For components, first I'm going to give for benefits. So this is RSSP medical allowance. I'm going to set it. Component type as simple. Payment as monthly fiscal year. Value type as percentage of salary. Threshold scope as monthly and taxable component. I want it as a taxable component. Save this information, click on next and provide the rate. So I am giving it as 5% for all the years. Save the information, click on next And this is the 5% of basic salary which we have provided for benefits. Same way, I am going to do this process for additional earnings. For additional earnings, I have travel allowance. Make it as simple. Payment terms as monthly fiscal year. Value type as flat amount. Here also flat amount. I want it as a taxable component and I'll add it to the gross pay. I'll save this information, and in the next step, I'm going to give the flat amount. Let's say it is 500 rupees. I'm sorry, 500. Okay, we'll save this information. Click on next. So as we can see, it is 500 travel allowance. Close it. Same way for taxes also. For federal tax, I'm selecting component type as simple, payment term as monthly fiscal year, value type as percentage of taxable earnings, threshold scope as monthly. Save this information and give the percentage amount. So I'm giving it as 2.5. See, here we can see 2.5% of the taxable compensation. The application is going to calculate the taxes as 2.5% of the taxable compensation. We are going to close the tab. We can also provide merit rates. For this case, I am not giving any merit rate here, but you can also provide merit rate here. All right. Now I need to refresh my database again. Okay, so now we are going to see how the application calculate the workforce compensation expenses. We'll click on workforce. We'll go to compensation planning. And let's check our assumptions here, workforce assumptions. Mine is finance US entity. Okay, so here I'm going to provide the assumptions. Save this information. All right. Then next, we are going to check for salary grades for finance US. Okay, it is auto fetched the data. Sorry, it has auto fetched the data. We're going to save this. For salary defaults, I'll set salary default here. I'm going to provide the job. Let's say it is for accounting director. Select the union code and launch it. Next, we'll provide additional earnings default. Provide job here. For accounting director, I want additional earnings as travel allowance. Provide the union code. Save the information. If you want to give benefits, you need to right click, add benefit default. I have benefit as RSSB medical allowance. For which job you want to provide it, provide that. For taxes, same process, right click, add tax default. I have federal tax. I need to provide job. For accounting director, click on OK, click union code, select and launch. Save this information. All right. So the next process is we are going to go to manage employees here. So I want to add a requisition for accounting director. So for that, I'm going to right click, add requisition, and I want the employee type as regular. You can also give it as contractor or temporary as per the requirement. I'm not going to give end year here, just the start year. Next, for which job we are doing this? For accounting director. Provide the union code, salary grade, say no grade. I'm choosing no grade as salary grade. Launch. So the data is saved here. We can see the requisition here. Now the next step is calculating the compensation. We'll right click and calculate the compensation here. Hire was successful. So after doing this, I'm going to synchronize default. And also synchronize the component definition. Okay. So the next step is associating the hired employee with the existing one. We are converting it into an existing employee 001 and launch this. All right. So in employee details, we are going to check whether the calculation has been made. So the application has calculated, for some reason it is calculating all the benefits and additional earnings twice. Let's open this in Smart View and validate all the figures. Click on Actions, open in Smart View. So these are the details for the employee. Now let's validate all the figures. So it is calculating the basic salary as 83,200. So how it is done? See, we gave the rate as 40, number of weeks in a year 52, and hours per week are 40. So when we multiply 40 multiplied by 52 multiplied by 40, we get the basic salary as 83,200. Let's green mark this. So this is the first thing which we validated. Next is travel allowance, which was the 500 was the flat amount which we gave. So it gets validated automatically. So 6,000 is 500 per month. So multiplied by 12, 6,000 for a year. The application is calculating all the additional links benefits twice. So let's move to RSSB medical allowance. So RSSB medical allowance was 5% of basic salary. So basic salary for per month was 83,200, 6933.33. So 5% on 6933 comes to 346, which is coming here. Okay. So this also gets validated. For the whole year, it will come to 4160. Okay. Next is federal tax. We provided it as 2.5% of taxable compensation. Okay. So it will be 83,200 plus 6,000. Since the application is calculating it twice, so I'm also going to write it as twice. Multiplied by 2.5%, which comes to 2588. Okay, and monthly amount will be 215, which is being shown here. So let's green mark this. So this is how the application calculates employee wise also and job wise also, if we set the granularity as employee and job level. So all the figures gets validated, and this is how we can set the granularity as employee and job level. Now let's check in the overview all the graphs. See, the head count is 1. I have added 1. For salary, it is showing 83.2. For total earnings, 6,000, which is 12 because it is calculating twice. All the figures 8320, and taxes as 5176. All the figures gets validated for all the 3 years. All right, so that's all for today. Thank you and have a great day.